Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2022. That's right. This is going to be an awesome year, and I wish you all a healthy new year, a happy new year, a joyful new year, and most importantly, a year full of pregnancies. That's right. Baby dust to all of you. Let's make this year the year that you all get pregnant. And that's why I wanted to start off the new year with the first video of the new year for Fertility TV to be devoted to helping you set up the foundational mindset that you need to start to take today so that you can get ready and get pregnant in this new year. Does that sound good to all of you? It does to me. So let's get started. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Marc Sklar, also known as the Fertility Expert, and welcome to Fertility TV, your YouTube channel dedicated to helping you get pregnant. That's right, and especially our goal is to help you get pregnant in this new year. I've been working with couples for over 18 years through my online programs, my coaching programs, and right here in sunny San Diego at both of my clinics. And my goal with all of the couples that I help, especially all of you watching me on Fertility TV, is to help you get pregnant naturally. And that's why I thought it was gonna be a great idea to start off the new year with how you should be focusing and resetting your mindset so that you can get pregnant in this new year. So that's what we're gonna start talking about right now. Okay, so anytime that we start talking about mindset, the first thing that we want to talk about is getting rid of all those negative thoughts, which is not easy, right? But we want to replace all those negative thoughts with hope, with positivity, right? We want to start to focus on all the positive things that life has brought us, that our relationship with our partner has brought us. And I know this one might be hard, but all the positive things that actually the fertility journey has brought you as well, right? So I actually want you all to start off this new year by making a list. What are all the positive things that you have going on in your life? That's the list I want to make. I don't want to even think about all the negative things. I want you all to start off with a positive mindset and start to create a list of all the great things that you have in your life. Then I want you to create a second list, all the wonderful things that have been brought to you by your relationship with your partner, right? So that's the second list. And now the third list, maybe even the most important list of all, is going to be the list that you create that is all the positive things that the fertility journey has brought you. And I know you all might be thinking, well, there are no positive things that it's brought you, but I know that there are. I'm sure for many of you, it's brought resilience, right? That you didn't know that you could be this determined and this resilient to try to achieve your goal. For others, I think some of those positive things might be that it's brought you and your relationship, you and your partner in your relationship closer together. That's something that maybe you never thought of. It's these hard things, it's these struggles, right? It's that climb to the top of the mountain that makes us appreciate the things that we have, and that climb together with your partner that makes you appreciate them and all the wonderful things that they bring you, right? So we want to add that to that list as well. Look, it's not an easy journey, but there are many positive things within the fertility journey that have brought to you. Maybe it's been that you've now been able to focus on your health a little bit more, yourself a little bit more. Maybe you're healthier, your house is cleaner. There's lots of things that I know all of you can focus on. And I want us to focus on those positive things, okay? We need to restore hope in yourselves. We need to restore the belief that you can get pregnant. And I know you all can. And that's why we're starting with this notion in the new year, because we need to hit the reset button. We need to focus on the positive things, restore the hope in ourselves, restore the belief that both you and your partner can create a child together. And that is of the essence. So we need to put that in the forefront. It's not going to be easy moving forward as well, because there's going to be many bumps in the road. But I'm telling you that this focus is going to be essential to keeping you going and focused to achieve the goals that you want in this new year. Another wonderful thing that happens with the new year is that we all start to tell ourselves that we can make a new start, a fresh start, right? Well, this is the time for us to let go of all those negative things that we're still holding on to, all those things that are holding us back from making change, from choosing a new path, a new road to achieving the results that we want. And with that, that means that we might have to break old patterns, that we might need to search for or find or create a new approach for ourselves. Clearly, the approach that you've been doing hasn't been working. And so we need to find a new approach. Now, if you've already started that new approach in the end of last year, that's okay. We want to keep that going. I don't want you to change now when you just changed to a new approach at the end of last year. But if you've been on the same path for a while and you haven't been achieving your goals, then now is the time to forge a new path forward, right? To find a new approach to achieve different results. Now, with that being said, I do want to remind you all that I don't want you all changing paths after 1 month, 1 week, maybe even 2 months. We need to give things a chance. We need to give things time to make the progress, to make the change, and to see the results that we're looking for. So I want you also to give anything that you've been doing a fair chance. And so there's that balance. You all know if you've been giving it a fair chance or not, if you've been putting forward 100% effort to making those changes. And you all know if you've been doing it for long enough, if you do need a new approach. But now is the time for a fresh start, for a fresh perspective, for a new approach, if that is in your future, right? If you determine that that's in your future. And I'm going to talk about in a moment how we figure that out. But first and foremost, I want to lay down that foundation, right? It's the new year. It's the time for resolutions, but I don't really like this word resolutions. It seems to be very temporary. I want all of you to make a new path forward that is going to be the direction that you move forward with ongoingly, right? It's not a temporary thing. It's not a 1 week or 1 month thing. This is going to be a 2022 thing for all of you. So the third step in this process is communicating with your partner, being on the same page with your partner. So I want the two of you to sit down and discuss, what do you want 22 to look like? What do you want this year to look like on your fertility journey? And I want you two to be on the same page moving forward. So we have to figure out how we're going to be on the same page together to move forward to make this year successful for you. So step one in this process is to determine, are you both on the same page, right? What do you want out of this year when it comes to your fertility and reproductive health? And even though I'm speaking specifically about fertility and reproductive health, you can do this for every aspect of your life, right? What do you want out of this year with your relationship with each other? What do you want it financially, work, fertility, health? What do you want that to be like, right? So I think this is a good time to sit down and make a plan for yourselves as a couple to be successful in all aspects of your life moving forward this year, right? Those couples, those individuals that are successful make a plan for themselves, and they make a process to follow that plan to be successful throughout the year. It's not just about setting it out in January and forgetting about it in February, right? You've got to set it out in January, and then you've got to set up your routine and your process to be successful for the rest of the year. And that's what I want you to start together right now. So now that you've sat down, step two is to set your goals. What do you want your goals to be? So the first thing is to talk about them together out loud in a conversation, in a discussion. We're not trying to read anyone's mind. We're trying to make sure we're both on the same page, and that starts with communication. So what are your goals moving forward? Talk about them. Then I want you to have pieces of paper available so you can start to write down what your goals are, right? And on top of it, it's not just setting out your goals. That's actually at the top. You have to also make a list of how you're going to achieve those goals. What are you going to do to achieve those goals, right? So you need to talk about them. You need to write them down, and you need to make sure that you both are all on the same page, focused on that process. And once you write it down, don't assume that you're both on the same page. Write it down and then review it. Get confirmation from each other that yes, we agree to this. We agree to this process, to setting out these goals for ourselves and to achieving these goals, more importantly, right? And that you are going to commit 100% of your effort and energy and time to making this a priority and to making this successful for yourselves. Now, to be fair, you might not have all the answers. You might not know all the steps. You might not know what all the different intricacies are that's going to help you achieve those goals, right? But I know that you all know enough of where to start, right? Where can you start to find this information? Most of you watching don't have enough answers. Most of you watching don't have enough information, haven't done enough testing, don't have a coach that you're working with, don't have the proper guidance. So that's the first step, is to get a coach or a new coach, or if you've never been coached before when it comes to fertility, to get someone to support you on your journey and guide you through the process. Because they are going to be able to lay out a roadmap for you, a process based on your results, your history, your constitution, your labs, to achieve the results that you deserve and want, right? So that's what we're shooting for. So you might not know all the steps that need to happen, but I know that you all can set that out by finding the right guidance so that you can get the right testing, the right answers, the right information, because most of you don't have the right answers, and then have a plan to follow to achieve those goals. That's right. If you all want a coach who's committed to you 100%, who wants to help you get pregnant as much as possible, then that's what my team and I do. Now, you could find someone else, whoever you feel comfortable with, but the goal is to find support. If you do want support from me and my team, then I want to invite you all to sign up for a discovery call to see if we're the right fit to support you, and you can do that by using the link in the description below. The next point I want to talk about is understanding the basics. Now, many of you watching might not understand when you ovulate. Do you have a regular menstrual cycle? If you track your cycles, what's my basal temperature telling me? What does it all mean? What diet should I be following, right? These are all basics that we all should be following and achieving for ourselves based on our constitution and our diagnosis and our history. So these are things that I've created many, many videos on in the past. Okay, I'm going to leave a link right here to a training that lays that foundation out very clearly to all of you. If you haven't already watched it, then I want to invite you to watch it. We'll also leave that description or that link in the description below, excuse me. And this lays out the foundation, but Fertility TV has all the resources you need to understand your fertility, your cycles, your hormones, so that you can start to make a plan for yourself moving forward. And this next point takes a little bit of balancing. I'm not the biggest fan of putting everything on hold, right? So I hear all the time from all of you that, we didn't buy the house that we wanted because we were trying to have a family. We didn't go on the vacation we wanted because we were trying to get pregnant. We didn't whatever because we were trying to get pregnant. I'm not a fan of putting life on hold. When you put life on hold, you put everything on hold. Okay, including starting a family. Now, there is some balancing that has to happen there, right? Because we might have to reallocate certain funds that we're gonna go either to a house or to a vacation or whatever to getting the support that you need for your on your fertility process. But it doesn't mean that you have to put everything on hold. It doesn't mean that you stop those things. It maybe means that you have to juggle those things a little bit differently, that you can't go on the same sort of vacation you wanted to, so you're gonna take a slightly different vacation, but we all still need to move forward in our lives. So I wanna encourage all of you not to put life completely on hold, okay? Make sure that you still balance all of those things out while you're still going through the fertility process and trying to get pregnant. And last but not least, I want to remind you that I've got you taken care of this year. In 2022, I'm going to provide all the information, all the support, all the videos that you need to be successful. So stay tuned to this channel this year. I promise that I am going to give you everything you need. If you want additional support in joining some of my programs, then remember that link is below. And then just remember to stay positive, stay hopeful, and your pregnancy is around the corner. So what did you think about this video? Let me know in the comments below. What's the one point that really stuck out to you that you feel connected with, that you're gonna start this year, right? It's a new year, so what are you gonna do? What did you think about the topic? Comment below and let me know. Additionally, you can let me know by giving me a thumbs up on this video. If you're not already a subscriber to my YouTube channel, then you can just hit that bell to subscribe and get notified when I put out a new video. And again, just a quick reminder, if you want me to be your fertility coach in 2022, use the link in the description below to apply and talk to my team to see if we can support you. Until the next video, stay fertile.